Hi friends, my name is Critsey and I am a international boudoir photographer. So say that 10 times fast. International boudoir photographer. Yeah, that's a tricky one. Today I want to talk about male boudoir photography. I get asked a lot by men that want to start shooting boudoir what I think about men shooting boudoir. So we're going to talk about this today, and I'm going to tell you what I think are some advantages and what may be some disadvantages. So let's go.
The way you say my name just makes me tremble deep inside. I wanna feel your touch and get enough of you.
First, let me tell you a disclaimer. I am a female photographer, so I'm just giving you my opinion, and my opinion is based on just knowing other boudoir photographers or male boudoir photographers and things that they've dealt with and stories they've told me. I've also taught workshops and I've mentored other male boudoir photographers, and just knowing them and hearing their ideas and things that have happened to them. So I'm just basing all of this pretty much on my opinion because I'm not a male, so I cannot tell you from a personal perspective of shooting because I'm not a man. So, but anyway, but I do want to share with you some things that I've heard and how maybe you can change what you're doing to be more successful, or even if you're just getting into boudoir photography, and like how you can step into it. Because I do get asked all the time, like, how can I be a boudoir photographer because I'm a man? And I think the number one concern a lot of men have for being a boudoir photographer is that they do not want to come off as being creepy. And I totally get it. Like, I don't want to come off as creepy either, and I worry about that. So I imagine that some men may worry about it, just especially with different things that have gone on in the last few years, like the Me Too movement, and them worrying about, like, could something like that happen to them? And definitely if somebody's a creeper, then it's probably will happen to them, but hopefully you're not a creeper. But anyway, that sounded so weird. Let's talk about this. One of the things, or one of the advantages that I think that male boudoir photographers have over female boudoir photographers is that they are shooting from a male perspective. So they kind of look at the female body a little bit differently, and they can use that as a selling technique, that they view women from a different vantage point than a woman may view another woman's body. So, and this is just all perspective, I mean, it just really depends on how you look at things. Just think about that. You can use that as a selling technique, or you may even have some women, I've even heard this from people that have reached out to me and asked me if I knew a male boudoir photographer because they felt more comfortable being photographed by a man, or they just wanted that male perspective. So that's something to think about. With that said, I know some photographers also worry about, I'm shooting, like, what are some precautions that I can take that I'm working with clients? Like, I don't want to come off as being, creepy or sexist or any of that stuff. Well, one of the things that you can try is hiring a hair and makeup artist to be part of your team and having them stay throughout the shoot. I know several people that do this and it works really well for them. I even know some husband and wife teams. The male shoots and the wife is there as his assistant, and she will make sure that everything's in place, that the client looks beautiful and her hair is in place, all of that good stuff. So that's something that you could do if you have a wife or a girlfriend that wants to be part of your team. Or you can have a hair and makeup artist, or you can even hire a female assistant to be there with you if this is something that you would feel comfortable with. Also, it may be something that could help if just legal wise, like if anything came up in the future, like if you did a shoot with somebody and then they, it's just the two of you, it could be your word against theirs. And definitely this could happen with a female photographer too. Like, I worry about this sometimes too. I wonder, it's because most of my shoots, it's just me with my clients. I mean, it's just weird. Another thing that will come into play is professionalism. just being the most professional that you can be. And this is with your website, your emails that you're sending back and forth, when you're in the shoot, during the shoot, all of that, just making sure that you keep it professional. Don't say things to the client like, wow, that's hot, or, you know, anything. Like, I even try not to say stuff like that because I don't want to feel like I'm making them uncomfortable. So you just have to keep it as professional as possible to, you know, not seem like a creeper. Think about that. Make sure that you think about your words, what you're going to say to the client. You definitely want to make them feel beautiful because that's part of the experience that you're giving them. You want to make them feel like $1 million and that they're rocking their session. And there are some things that you can say to them, like just saying you're rocking it out. You're being a rock star. You know, you're doing great. You know, you look amazing. And just say it in ways that are more like a cheerleader and not like, you know, bounce, shake, bow, wow, baby, you look hot. You know, like, don't be wild. Like, just make sure you keep it professional. And if you have somebody else there with you, you can even have them be the one that is the cheerleader and that they're coaching the client and making them feel great. So if you have a female assistant and she's saying these things, and definitely she would need to keep it professional too, but it may come off a little more, I don't know, I hate to keep saying creepy, like you want to keep it less creepy, but I guess that's the only way that I know to say it. So this leads to another thing. So you definitely want to figure out your target market and what your shooting style is. So if you're, you know, shooting a little bit more racy, you might want to reach towards those types of clients that want a more racy look. If you want to reach the masses, you may want to do a more tasteful classic look. With tasteful and classic, you're going to get way more clients that are looking for this. It's just a known fact. Like, the majority of women want to look tasteful and classy, so you will sell a lot more if you go in that direction. However, you could start a niche that maybe you want clients that want super racy, borderline porn. That leads me to this. You need to figure out what your shooting style is going to be, and this is going to lead to posing. Like, how are you going to pose your clients? Do you want to shoot more racy, or do you want to have classic, tasteful images? And not saying you should be super raunchy or anything, but you can, I mean, there's like a fine line there. So you really have to decide like who you want to reach. Like, what's your target clientele? Like, who do you want to photograph and still be able to make great money? So you definitely want to figure that out like before you jump into it, so that way you can build a portfolio that is going to reach the market that you want. But definitely, if you're shooting from a male perspective, some clients may expect your photos to be a little bit more racy and some may not. So it just really depends. Like, you can figure this out, like what it is that your style is going to be. And the best way to do this is just to start shooting and seeing what you're gravitating towards. Like, I would say for me, I'm kind of a mix of very classy, tasteful images, but I do shoot like some racy stuff too, like some more erotic, or not really super erotic, but like a little bit borderline. If you look at my Instagram, I'll put a little tag right here below, but if you look at my Instagram, you can see what I mean. So definitely look at other photographers' work, and that will give you an idea of, you know, the type of photography that you want to do, or the type of boudoir photography that you want to do. And you can just start trying to shoot that way. So if you want it to be a little more racy, you can have it a little bit more racy. And so one of the things is you're definitely going to want to have samples that you can show to women that are interested in your work. Just because if you don't have anything to show them, it's going to be a lot harder to sell them on trusting you and trusting your work. You may want to just pick up a few model calls and doing those to build a portfolio if you don't already have one, or asking a few friends to do a shoot with you, or if you're married, like photograph your wife and use that in your portfolio. And that's totally okay. You can even tell people like, this is my beautiful wife and I've photographed her, and you know, I've gained experience and confidence from this, and now I am branching out to help other women feel empowered and beautiful. So I want to do this for you. Definitely have maybe an Instagram or Facebook page that you can show a little bit of work on. You'll definitely need to have model releases, contracts, all of that stuff. So I do have a beginner boudoir that applies to any photographer. So I'll post that up here in the cards for you to watch later. And then I also have one where I talk about contracts and stuff, and I will also post that up in the cards for you to watch later. Great content there. You can check it out, and it has a couple links as well to where you can purchase some contracts. Just make it easy on you. But you can definitely find lots of stuff online that you can purchase as far as contracts, email templates, all of that good stuff. So let's talk about maybe some of the other cons and some of the other pros about being a male boudoir photographer. Another con may be establishing a connection with your clients, like before you're photographing them. That's something that I feel is very important when you're a boudoir photographer. You definitely want your clients to feel comfortable with you, and so you really have to establish a personal connection with them. At least in my opinion, I feel like that's so helpful, and just helping them feel relaxed and being able to, you know, help them feel beautiful on their photo shoot and helping them have an amazing experience. Like if they feel like they can talk to you and tell you the things they like about themselves or don't like about themselves, then you're going to get way better images than if you walk in and you don't know anything about them. Just being able to establish this little bit of a connection. And the best way to do this is by either doing a in-person consultation with them or talking to them on the phone. Emails are great, but it's not really the best way to get to know somebody's personality, and what you want is for them to get to know you. Like, even though these phone consults and all of that seem like it's a way for you to get to know them, it's really for them to get to know you and feel comfortable with you. So you can tell them more about you, how you shoot, your shooting style, how the session is going to work, how long it's going to take, all of those things. So this is going to be so helpful, because then they're going to feel like they know you a little bit more than just showing up on the shoot day without ever having to talk to you before. Did that sound right? Without ever talking to you before. So definitely try to establish a little bit of a, you know, conversation with them. This may be a little bit of a con, but maybe not. So for me, I do my shoots with just me and the client. So I do have hair and makeup there. But then once they're finished, I have them go ahead and leave, or if they're staying for touch-ups, I have them wait in another room just so I can shoot 360 and I am not having to move somebody out of the way all the time. So if you do have somebody stay and this is your shooting style, like you shoot a lot around them, then you may have to have them move a lot, or you just train them to move with you. So maybe they're your shadow, they stand behind you and they're like helping keep an eye out for making sure the lingerie is not in a weird position, or making sure their hair looks good, or you know, those types of things. So they just kind of move with you, and that, which actually would work and be totally great. So maybe that's not so much a con, but for me, like, I don't have somebody stay just because I feel like they get in my way, because I'm a fast shooter, y'all. So I'm lightning. No, I'm kidding. I'm not lightning, but I do move around a lot. Anyway, let me think. What else can I tell you? I'm trying to think of if I'm leaving out anything. And I also would love to know, like, what questions do you have for me? So I feel like everybody's questions are always so different. I don't do mentoring sessions that much anymore, and I haven't done a workshop in a long time, but I used to do workshops and everything, and we would do basically after the workshop was over, then we would have some downtime that we would sit down and talk about things like the business side of things, and we would go through all of that. I feel like with videos, it's a lot harder because I don't know what questions you have. So if you want to drop them down below, I would love to try and respond to them. So definitely drop any questions down below, and let me answer them for you. I don't know if you know this, but I wrote a boudoir book. So it's 10 years old though. It's like super old. However, I am still very proud of it, and it's just, you know, something that I worked on a long time ago. I'm definitely a much different photographer now, and, you know, my work is definitely very different. So if you look at the photos in this book, if you happen to buy it, you would see that it, and by the way, I don't make any money on it if you buy it. It's, you know, you can buy it on Amazon, but it's like, I don't make any money. I got paid a flat fee. But anyway, the photos in here are really old and very boudoir-ish. So, but I just want to mention that this is the US version, and I also have the UK version, which I love. I think this one's so pretty. The cover on this one's much prettier than the US version. And then this is the German version, so it's translated to German. So if you're German, hey, you can read this version. And I believe there is also a French version. So interestingly, the publisher sent me the UK version and the US version, and the German version I had to pay for myself. What? Yeah, I had to buy it myself. But anyway, I would love to have the French version. I don't know if it's still around. I know that they still sell the UK version and the American version on Amazon. I don't know. I haven't looked for the German version in a few years, so I don't know. It might still be for sale on Amazon, or you can find a used copy. Or if you want a copy and you want me to send you one, I'll send it to you. But anyway, that's it. Just want to tell you about that. Thanks. Bye. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I don't think so. But I appreciate you stopping in today. And if you don't follow my channel, I hope you will. Just hit that little subscribe button down below, and we will be best buds after that, because, you know, I'm here once a week. And then I would also love it if you would hit the like button for me, because when you hit the like button, it helps other people find my content, and the more people that follow me here, the more content I feel like I should push out. So, and it benefits everybody, because I want everybody to be able to enjoy this content. So, and like I said, I always love to hear what you guys want to hear about, or what topics you want me to talk about, or if there's anything that you want me to shoot and share with you. So I have some fun things coming up. I'm doing an underwater shoot soon. We actually already did it's basically like a pool shoot that we're gonna do some underwater shots. However, it was freezing cold, so we didn't actually go in the water. We just shot around the pool. I didn't film it like a behind the scenes, because I didn't feel like it was as cool as the underwater stuff. But we are going to do the underwater shoot again, probably in a few weeks when it warms up again. It's just been a little bit chilly lately. So that will be coming out probably in a month or two. So keep an eye out for that. That should be a lot of fun. I haven't done an underwater shoot in a while, and I love them. They're so much fun. I hope that you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. It's getting tongue-tied here. Oh.